So Dr. Isra is an associate professor of industrial and management systems engineering at Kuwait University. She holds master's and PhD degree in industrial engineering from the State University of New York at Buffalo, which she earned both degrees in 2001 and 2005, respectively. Her collaboration portfolio includes working with some of the prestigious organizations globally, which includes the United Nations Commission Committee on Environmental Remediation Efforts following the Gulf War. Additionally, she partnered with the United Nations Environmental Program and the United Nations Industrial Development Organization on a project focused on national resource efficiency, cleaner production in Kuwait, and water assessment. Dr. Al-Isa also contributed as an author to the Science, Technology, and Innovation STI report published by the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, the UNESCO. Currently, she serves as a consultant to the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine, working on transboundary water management projects. She's passionate about education, and she is dedicated to its improvement on a national scale. She is the founder of the education initiative named From Here We Shall Set Sail, and based on some people I know who are close to her, looks like she loves bees, and maybe she will confirm that to you also. So thank you once again, Dr. Isra, for being here with us. We are eagerly anticipating and waiting some of the knowledge you have gained and will share with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm humbled for this introduction, and I thank the conference organizers and yourself for giving me this opportunity to explain something about green ecology and economy. Okay, should I go ahead and share my screen?
Yes, please.
All right. I hope you can see the screens.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, so I thank you today again for giving me the space to introduce this topic, and I'm happy to be part of this expo. So today's topic is about balancing sustainability and economy. So my first encounter, with ecology and economy was during the Gulf War. So during the Gulf War, we had around over 700 oil wells set deliberately on fire, which made the largest man-made environmental catastrophe in history. During this project, I was a risk engineer working on uranium depletion zones, as you can see in the picture that was way back. And this was my first encounter between the disassociation or the disunity between economy and ecology. What happened was the dilemma on, we had so much damage. These ordnance that you see are covered with uranium, so that unfortunately they have to penetrate the target. So I had to assess the damage associated with the unexploded ordnance and with the 700 oil wells that went into fire. So the damage was devastating. And then there was a committee, a panel of lawyers and economists in the United Nations trying to put a dollar sign next to this damage. And the way they did it, they said, okay, how would we assess and put a dollar sign next to this damage? And they thought, let's think of the most economic way to treat this damage. And then it's by the cost of cleaning it, it will be the cost of the damage. So I go, okay, so if you're going to make someone sick, is the cost of having this person sick is is the amount of treatment. This is the way to evaluate the environmental damage. What happened in the story is that Kuwait was compensated by $52 billion, which was 15% of the initial claim that was given to the damage. But the story was that none of this money was able to restore the damage that happened to the weathered desert with the weathered oil lakes and the fires. And the money was used to create natural reserves. So as if we're trying to maintain what's there, but not to restore the damage that happened during the war. So what is economics and how it relates to the ecology? So economics is the study of how people would choose their resources. So in fact, what we do is that we have we do extract all our resources from Earth, and then the money is in the production, the distribution, and in the consumption. So the amount of money we make by extracting these resources is adding economical value to a commodity. So did we go far in this? Is economic activity is changing the planet? So you can see the magnificent Aral Sea. The Aral Sea stands as the largest, the fourth largest lake worldwide. It has salt water and it's really rich in fish. So what happened is that during the Soviet occupation of the area, they thought that cotton then was the true gold. They called it the white gold. And the entire economy was towards planting cotton and exporting it. Nobody would have imagined what would happen to the Aral Sea. So you can see what happened through the years with the Aral Sea. So I just cut the video short. So what happened to the Aral Sea? It lost most of the water that was there. So this was in 1989, and now 2008, and now it's even less. They tried to restore part of it, but it never came back. The Aral Sea had lots of ports around it, and all the cities. It used to yield between 40,000 to 50,000 tons of fish, which also contributed to the economy. No one would have imagined that this renewable resource, which they thought that would be replenished by the rainwater and by the mountains, the ice melting would ever deplete this way. So now this is how the Aral Sea looks now. It's like a desert and a devastating environmental catastrophe of all the residue of the chemicals in the salt that's now creating new forms of cancer and respiratory disease that's happening to the cities around. Nobody have imagined this. So just to let you imagine the disaster, the Aral Sea is 14 times the size of Kuwait, and now it has disappeared. What about fossil fuels? Now, as you know, the Earth go through cycles. But today, we have reached double the CO2 levels that have ever reached the environment. So now you can see that, yes, we have a deadline right now. And then this clock is in Manhattan, indicating like within 7 years, there will be no return, and we will reach the 1.5 degrees Celsius, where the climate will really be affected and the results will be irreversible. And you can see in this video now the biggest snow meltdown that happened in the Arctic that was caused in camera. We'll start the video.
Nothing's happening.
So they predicted the time. So they placed cameras.
We had some serious bouts of wind.
They placed cameras, they predicted when the meltdown will occur.
It's starting, Adam, I think. Adam, it's starting.
Oh wait, Jim, this is the big piece is starting to cast.
Let me call you back. Call back. Okay, bye. Still going? Yeah. In that V section right there. Holy shit, look at that big bird rolling. All four are running, right? Yeah. Look at that. You see how, look at the whole thing.
As you can see, I just want to show you the size of the devastation that happened. This event has never happened in history before. It's the size of New York City. And usually this amount will melt in 100 years.
Event that we just looked at. We'll resort to some illustrations again to give you a sense of scale. It's as if the entire lower tip of Manhattan broke off, except that the thickness, the height of it, is equivalent to buildings that are 2.5 or 3 times higher than they are. That's a magical, miraculous, horrible, scary thing. I don't know that anybody's really seen the miracle and horror of that. It took 100 years for it to retreat 8 miles from 1900 to 2000. From 2000 to 2010, it retreated 9 miles. So in 10 years, it retreated more than it had in the previous 100.
So I invite you to watch this video on chasing ice. So it shows what climate change have caused the Earth. And this, of course, would cause like the sea rise level. So this was driven usually by an extreme consumption. So we have seen through statistics that the current consumer per capita is consuming 5 times what they consumed in the 1950s. And most of these expenditures are happening in services. So we're flying more, we're transporting more. So the expenditures really went up per capita. So it's not only the population that's increasing. It is the expenditures per capita that's exploding as well. So you can see that the GDP per capita has risen exponentially and this is causing, of course, all the climate change crisis. So the question that raises here is, can we have economic growth and tackle climate change in the same time? What do you think of that? So experts had 2 opinions about that. They said, okay, we can do this through green economy, where we can use renewables and we can recycle all the goods. And then with that, we can maintain this exponential growth. Some other researchers have said, no, you cannot do this. You really need to cut consumption down. Even with the renewables, with the current exponential growth that you see in the image, even with the renewables, you wouldn't be able to achieve sustainable development. So these 2 points is like when you look at these cookies, the 2 different views on that. In green economy, which you see on the left, they say, okay, you're eating a whole cookie. Green economy is saying you can eat the entire cookie, and even you can eat more than 1 cookie, as long as you have artificial sweetener, or you don't have like butter. So it's like fat-free, or maybe you have artificial sweeteners. The other point of view, which is degrowth, they're saying, maybe you shouldn't replace the ingredients, but eat portion of the cookie. So in green economy, which is the first point of view, they're saying, okay, let's invest in green technology. Let's invest in renewables, biofuels, recycling, biodegradable materials, climate crops, etc. in green tech. And this would help us sustain the economic growth while having a greener economy. And most of the research in universities was taken in this direction. Actually, there is the latest UNESCO science report, which is established every 5 years. They have an issue. They really prioritize the transition toward the sustainable goals and to the race in saving climate change. In this, the latest edition, they said, okay, you can reach the sustainable goals. To do that, the transition should be digital, should be clean, because the clock is ticking and we really don't have time. And you can see these are the statistics on the research that was published, and you can see a high rise on adopting on energy and renewable energy. And then you can see also that the amount of statistics have really tripled when it comes to floating plastic debris in the ocean. So most of the research in engineering and economics regarding this matter is going towards sustainable energy resources, developing batteries, saving the oceans from the plastics. And then you can see there's a rise in battery efficiency, sustainable transportation, biofuels, solar panels, wind energy, hydrogen production, and less on nuclear energy. So the world and research and universities are really trying to invest into green technologies that would really serve a greener economy. Also, lots of research has been conducted towards recycling. And also lots and lots of companies were really investing into recycling. There's recycling of batteries, recycling of metals, recycling of gravel and cement, recycling of food, paper, and plastic. And then you can see that now the countries are having a race. This chart shows the race in the European Union regarding plastic recycling. And so some countries would say that they recycle more than 50% of their plastic waste is getting recycled. Spain is the same thing. Netherlands, Germany, Estonia, Norway, and many of the countries, they're recycling almost 50 or more of their plastic. But what statistics also show that those countries are not recycling plastic on their land. And the truth, what's happening is that the plastic is shipped towards China. So the majority of recycled plastic or waste plastic is shipped to China, where they think that the recycling is taking place. So let's see what's happening in China. So what happened, so many agencies have discovered that it's actually all the reports that showing greening the economy through plastic recycling is not actually recycling plastics. So all the data that's showing that plastic is recycling, it's actually plastic sent to recycling, which never gets recycled. So Center of Climate Integrity and many other centers have issued a statement saying the fraud of plastic recycling. Actually, the biggest conferences on plastic recycling worldwide, many of them are funded with the biggest plastic wasters. So China, as a result, have banned waste plastic imports in January 1st, 2018. What happened then? What will happen with the 11 million tons of plastic that has nowhere to go? Did the statistics in the European countries and Western countries reduce because China is not receiving plastics? Not at all. So the statistics on plastic recycling kept increasing, although China is not receiving it. So where does it go? So what's happening now after banning the China ban on plastic waste, most of the plastic waste is also going through barges to Asia, because what happened is that full barges with goods come from China to for example, to the United States, and when it comes empty, they don't want to come empty because they don't want to have a dead load. So they take a load to go back to China, carrying waste plastic. Some of them dispose it in the sea, and some of them send it to Malaysia right now. Malaysia government is really working hard on this issue because the plastic is not getting recycled over there. Some of the plastic is getting to Thailand, Vietnam, Hong Kong, and some African countries and some other Asian countries. So what's happening in Malaysia?
Based on our investigations, we found that most of this plastic waste originates from as far as the UK, US, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and so on. We are really seeing the broken system or the myth of plastic recycling, because here we have the countries sending their plastic waste halfway across the world to other countries. We have been working with the local community members and representatives from Jenjarong and Klang who are affected by the unregulated imported plastic waste issue.
So that's what's happening. So they're saying now, like in many research, plastic producers lied about recycling. That's what reports have revealed. Malaysia right now have closed around 15 fraud plastic recycling manufacturers, and they're working on closing the rest. So this is James Mitchell, which is a nano a technologist and a chemist, which says that plastic recycling nonsense, you cannot.
Plastic and recycled plastic are the same price, and you can't use reprocessed plastic for anything food related or pharmaceutical related.
Oh.
Plastic is a bunch of non.
Yeah. So now I think you can see the video. So what Professor James is saying is that plastic recycling is nonsense, because you cannot use it for food industry or pharmaceuticals or anything that's related to like direct human consumption, because of the heavy chemicals used in washing the plastic and recycling it. Also, the properties will not allow the end product to be used in many of the plastic products as far as quality, color, and characteristics. So what about sustainable transformation for a greener economy? So even that, in the name of a greener economy, fraud was found to be there. You can see in the cars, we have this kind of sticker that's on the car saying that this car has excellent or efficient in fuel consumption. But some companies like Mitsubishi have admitted that they have falsified the fuel economy data, and they did that for over 600,000 cars. Mitsubishi was not the only company who did that. Actually, these are several companies that have also falsified their efficiency report. So they used green economy to improve the current GDP and economy. Now, many of these companies have really took steps to rectify the oversight that they have done and then in their data collection mechanism, and to put the true numbers on the reports. But still, the problem is going on in trying to greening the economy. Actually, the European Union itself issued in 2007 a strategy where they want to use biofuels because it's a better and a cleaner for the environment. So they issued the 2020 to 2030 strategy on using biofuels. And they had huge bioreactors through Europe with great funding towards that. So what's biofuels? Biofuels is using biomass that could be refined, and then it could use into transportation and many other manufacturing activities. So what happens in biodiesel and biofuels is that it goes, you have the fields, and then it goes through manufacturing and it gets transported. The problem is when you look at the entire life cycle that shows here, the problem is they found that biofuels would have higher carbon emissions than fossil diesel. Am I promoting fossil fuels? God forbid, I'm not doing this. But using the biodiesel within the same, the quality and the same amounts would pollute the environment more. Even worse, what's going to happen is that the soil will erode, and then there was an issue of soil erosion, water use, water quality, and the use of land to feed cars rather than feeding humans. There's a book that I really encourage you to read, which is called Life After Fossil Fuels. It gives a reality check on all of these fuels and how to be used sensibly. Recently, also, there was the ambition, thriving hydrogen economy, which is also the buzz is also reaching our countries here in the GCC. Many countries have adopted a strategy for generating electricity from hydrogen, because when you have cars using hydrogen, you will only have water from the exhaust. So it was part of the UK strategy that this would really the hydrogen economy is a green economy. And the biggest company promoting this is Mitsubishi, and they have established like a color wheel for the hydrogen. They said, okay, you have the black hydrogen that comes from coal, you have the blue hydrogen that comes from natural gas with carbon capture, you have the green hydrogen, and hydrogen is the future, and this is the fuel, the genie that would really solve the crisis of the greener economy. And now they're traveling all over the world trying to change the power plants to work on hydrogen instead of working on fossil fuels. So if you go back to this book, you would see realistic analysis on how producing hydrogen is actually more polluting than fossil fuels. In fact, most of the hydrogen that's used in the hydrogen economy uses fossil fuels to store the hydrogen. It's only a small amount that's less than 1% that comes from renewable resources that is plausible. Now, I'm not saying that hydrogen power is not good, but where is it coming from? It's coming from natural gas, fossil fuels, and coal. It's only less than 1% that it's coming from renewable resources. So maybe hydrogen power is good when it's produced from waste or food waste, but not to fuel the entire economy. So what's sustainable transportation? Maybe public transport, the good old public transport, and other resources, carpooling is better than the economy than what's promoted in the media. What about hydropower? Now, I do really believe in hydropower. Hydropower, where I used to study in New York, in upper state, it would fuel like fuel 30% of the power generation over there. It's clean energy, so you have huge dams, and then you can create energy out of that. So this is an example, one of the largest dams worldwide. This is the Ataturk Dam in Turkey. This dam have contributed 4.3 billion USD to the economy. The Ataturk Dam supplies energy to 2.1, like 2 million households per year, which is really a staggering amount of energy, and it really replaces fossil fuel, which is really good. And then Turkey has established the Ilsu Dam, for example, which is a bit smaller than the Ataturk Dam. One of them is on the Tigris River, and the other one is on the Euphrates, Dijla and Furat of Iraq. And both dams are really huge. They reach a height of 170 meters, and they can hold a capacity of around 50 billion cubic meters of water. They're used for hydropower mainly, and they use the water for irrigation. The problem is we lost water coming to Syria, to Iraq, and Kurdistan. This photo is taken from Iraq, where in some places the water level have reduced by 80%. And you have the mangroves have entirely diminished, and all the agriculture has also diminished in southern Iraq especially. So there is a downside to it if it wasn't used sensibly. Also, we have the Ilsu Dam. Some of research were saying that because of the change in water, the huge water flow, some of these huge dams have triggered earthquakes around the area. And some do relate the latest earthquake that happened in Turkey due to the huge dams that were built in Turkey. This is the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, also one of the biggest dams worldwide. This dam is built around the Blue Line, the Blue Nile, that goes through Ethiopia, Sudan, and Egypt and other countries. This dam, because the consumption of Africa per household is less than Turkey and some of the Asian and European countries, this dam could supply around 16 million households a year. Now, this dam would also affect the agriculture in Egypt. So if this dam took 10 years to fill, it will reduce the agriculture in Egypt and the agricultural land by 18%. And if this dam was filled in 5 years, it would reduce the agriculture in Egypt by 50%. So is it energy for food? So greener, are we really, with the current growth, do we have a green economy, or are we trying in greening the economy? So let's go back to the question we had at the beginning. So expert had the two different opinions, saying that we can have the same growth, the same consumption using the green economy principles, recycling and renewables, and then the other point of view stating that you cannot sustain the economy with the current exponential growth, even if you're using the renewable energy and recycling. So as long as we're having this media that's striving for great and the huge consumption that we're having in fashion, in food, this model of ownership and entitlement, some of experts are calling it the consumption and addiction that needs to stop. So the degrowth movement are working on reducing consumption, and you cannot reduce consumption unless you convince the society and change the behavioral patterns. So lots of research are attributing the overconsumption as a societal addiction that really needs therapy. So the Balding expert said that exponential growth forever. Anyone who believes that the exponential growth that can go forever in a finite world is either a mind man or an economist. So there has been a huge movement called the degrowth movement, saying basically less is more. Let's downgrade, let's descale, let's decentralize, and let's focus on communities. And they're saying the only way of growth is degrowth. We really need to cut on consumption. And then they're also saying that GDP is never a measure of wealth. And there was an article in Financial Times saying why the world's richest countries are not all rich. And what's happening is that all the GDP is not going to the poor and the citizens, and it's not contributing to the well-being. Maybe because 8 men in the world have half the wealth in the world. So they're saying if you're saying the GDP is really contributing to a wealth to the well-being of the nation, well, let's see that it's really going to 8 men that are living in these countries. Yeah. So if you can see, if you go to the economy and the mostly consumed products, you would see that they go to a few companies worldwide and they're contributing maybe to that GDP that even through tax is not going to the citizens. And this book, which I really encourage you to read, Prosperity Without Growth by Tim Jackson, he have crossed the GDP per capita with the life a human could live, and increasing the GDP would really not contribute to the well-being. So after a certain level, you can say like after 30,000 USD per year, which really could satisfy the basic needs. After that, it will not contribute to the health of well-being. Actually, the Senator Robert Kennedy once said, famously critiqued GDP, saying that GDP measures everything except what makes life worthwhile. So what's well-being? It's a state of a positive feeling. And actually, there's a World Happiness Report. There's a report that could really measure well-being through happiness. So this report collects data from 150,000 individuals worldwide, assessing their level of happiness. And then they have statistics now for the countries. And you can see that Denmark, Finland, Iceland, maybe those countries have sustained the highest measure of well-being worldwide. And we need to see why did they have this like well-being and what kind of economy is feeding into that. So as a result, the report shows that actually having social support, having being generous, and trusting into the government are really sources of happiness, satisfaction, and well-being. And it's not related to GDP and income per se. And if you cross the countries with the highest GDP, with the countries that stated that had the highest rates of well-being, you would see that these countries are not the same. You can see that there is no like parallel lines. Like in this figure, the correlation between GDP and happiness does not exist. For this reason, many of countries have moved into an economy that's based on well-being instead of an economy that's based on GDP. And these countries are now augmenting their strategies to think of well-being, which instead of GDP. And we have seen this during the pandemic. Some countries have really increased the GDP during the pandemic, but the well-being of their citizens were not increasing at the same rate. So going back, you would see that Finland is on the top of the list when it comes to well-being. Actually, it's been the top on the list for 7 years in a row. So we needed to investigate what made Finland highest in happiness. And I don't know if you have visited Finland, but I did. It's really cold. And having these kind of beautiful sceneries is not available year long. You can have it only like a month and a half every year. You have like months without any sunlight. So what makes them the happiest country? They cannot enjoy this kind of scenery, and they don't have this sunlight. They cannot enjoy the outdoors. Actually, a psychologist have investigated what makes happiness and well-being, and then he stated some phrases that the Finnish people would like repeat every day. For example, who has happiness should hide it. That doesn't mean that happiness, well, I believe that happiness only exists when it's shared, but we're referring to social media. So not everything that we see in social media regarding happiness and environment, it's really causing satisfaction and happiness. And also, there's a saying in Finland that says some people have happiness some people would have happiness. Everyone has summer, but not everybody would have happiness. And there are other phrases that they repeat. So actually, if you have a closer look into the Finnish system, that you would see that there's a role in education in really teaching students into the importance of sustainable consumption and the importance of simple things contributing to well-being. So the principle of equity, the principles of outdoors. Most of kindergarten in Finland is in the outdoors, and then when they did statistics in schools, they would see that 91% of students would say that they're happy, and 88% of girls would say that they're happy, and this also reflected into their adulthood. So they have really planned education, planned well-being, and the respect to the environment within their curriculum to inspire lives and enrich lives and inspire values. So there's something called the hidden curriculum in schools. So this is why we really need to spread this among young citizens. And what's creates well-being, respect to the environment, and really creates a green economy is through the education systems. This video shows the kindergarten in Kuwait, like in 1964. By the way, my mom is in this video, and you can see that it was even in those years, they would train children to eat meals that looks home cooked. So they would, using a hidden curriculum, teach them that not to consume from the outside. You can see that the value of the outdoors and the respect to the environment and to respect to one another. So this is you can see this is my mom showing in the photo that appears. I know that there's a lag in the video. So there is something called ethical consumerism, where we would know where the food is coming from and how much we should consume from everything from any commodity that would really contribute to cutting consumption and helping the economy to be greener. So even the school ranking, the impact ranking, the Times Higher Education have several ranking procedures. So there is the typical Times Higher Education ranking, there's the QS ranking for higher education, but there is something called the Higher Education Impact Ranking in higher education, where they do focus on the SDGs, and they focus on life below water, responsible consumption and production, rather than citation. And in these, you can see that the top universities who has ranked top in this impact are not the classical elites of higher citation and research production, because they were investigating the schools that would really contribute to society, to a greener economy in practice. You can see that maybe Western Sydney University was the first one. And you can see that also other universities that are not among the classic tops have reached the top 5. Going back to the UNESCO Science Report, we have learned that through the pandemic and through what's happening through the environment, that we are all deeply connected, and the human activities have really was the source of driving climate change and the loss in biodiversity. And it's the science, we all have to collaborate, and science has no borders. And if science didn't contribute to human justice and to society, then what's the use? So if it's not really contributing to policy decisions that has to do with social equity, and this is what science should focus towards. So what am I saying? We should not be using digitization or solar power or hydropower. Absolutely not. I do totally support using the solar power, renewable. We should invest on hydropowers and all of these technologies, but we have to really use them in a very responsible and a sensible way. And recent studies have also showed that growth in renewable energy should really be conducted in a decentralized and descaled way, because otherwise it won't really be feasible. So the cities needs to be smaller, the power plants needs to be smaller, so that it could be adapted with the fluctuations that happens in renewable energy, as far as hydropower, solar power, and all kind of clean energy. So we should invest in these technologies, but we should really cut our consumption. Well, history have showed us and practice have showed us that we cannot take anything for granted. The sea, the Aral Sea, which is the size 14 times the size of Kuwait, have vanished. Nobody have imagined that. The Euphrates and Tigris River, Adijra al Furat, has really reduced to 35 to 20% of its size. It went 80% of its original volume. So resources which we took granted to be renewable could no longer be. So what should we do? We should really use our fossil fuels towards sensibly investing in these technologies, but in a responsible, sensible ways, while maintaining degrowth. Even the elements that we use in creating our solar panels come from fossil fuel sources, and these could really go deplete. So what we should do, we really invest in these sensibly. So this saying is by Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed Al Maktoum, which is the father of Dubai ruler. He's actually the architect of modern Dubai. He said, in a quote, "My grandfather rode a camel, my father rode a camel, I ride a Mercedes, my son rides a Land Rover, but my grandson will do, but my great-grandsons might go back on riding camels." Well, this might not be the case if we really invested in our resources sensibly. So to make an economy truly greener is to make the future the cause of our present. With that, I thank you for listening to this presentation. And if you have any questions, please go ahead.
Dear Dr. Ezra, I think we don't have any more time for the questions.
Okay.
Because I need to go to the next rooms.
Yes.
So
I
sorry,
know.
and I didn't want to stop because it's such an interesting topic, and I think all the participants from the Young Citizens Conferences of Expo-Sciences Asia will need this information to continue their debate. And of course, on behalf of MILSET Asia and MILSET Global, I want to thank Dr. Ezra Leisa and Dr. Abdulatif Al-Yakut, MILSET Asia Authority, for being here, for taking the time of giving such important information. And we are sure that all the debate sessions will be held perfectly, and the kids will love it. So for the rest of the participants who are registered on the YCC debate sessions, in a few minutes you will receive the link to enter the room to your discussion, okay? So we will get out of this conference and you will enter your conference. Please check your WhatsApp group, the room you are registered in. And remember, this is only for registered participants. For the guests, thank you very much for being here. And well, we will send all the greetings and questions that were written in the chat room. Thank you very much to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for
Thank
the
you.
opportunity. Thank you.
What is the objective of this debate session? We are going to give you one question, and we are going to follow a methodology, which I will mention in a moment, and you have to end with some proposals. So let's start. Can we go to the next slide, please? Good. Well, as you could enjoy this nice conference, and now you have more information about green economy. Green economy is a huge topic. So there are a lot of things to talk about in this area. Next slide, please. Well, we'll start the discussion session. Next slide, please. Not the before one. Yeah, okay. So this program, the YCC, is an international program that has run for many years. It's a MILSET program and a MILSET Asia program. And we follow a special methodology to get to your proposals. The methodology is concerns. We learn about some topic and we think about the issues of this topic. Then we have the discussion. We discuss our ideas, issues, concerns, and identify possible future benefits and risks for each concern. Actions. Participants explore and list possible actions to solve or reduce the concerns they identify. Okay, so this is our methodology. Next, please. So I would kindly request to all of you to follow these guidelines. You need to try to display your name in your in Teams. Mute your mic unless you are it's your turn to talk. Okay, follow the moderator. We will ask some questions. We will lead the discussion. Be respectful on your opinions to other countries, to other people, and stay focused. So try to, right now we're not going to stream live, so there's not a lot of issue. So just be careful with your mics and try to open your camera. Next one, please. Next slide, please. Thank you. Well, so it's time to talk a little bit about you. As we change our room, we will try to give a very fast presentation. So I would like to start with, sorry if I don't pronounce correctly your names. I'll try to. So we will start with Moody. Moody, can you open your mic and just tell us your full name? Where are you from, please? We can't hear you. So if there is something wrong with your mic, just try to fix it. And then we continue with you, okay? Anwar Al-Rashidi? Anwar, would you like to open your mic and tell us a little bit about yourself? Okay, Abdul Karim? I'm going to try to go fast so we can have time. Please try to open your mics and talk. Carla?
Yes, my full name is Carla Pamela Ramirez Cejudo, and I'm from Mexico.
Thank you, Carla. Nice to meet you. We have Mohammed Hatem. If you're having problems with your mic, it's very important that you can fix it because we need to talk a lot. So, Mohammed Hatem? Muhammad Alam Sib?
Hello, I am Mohammad Adam here from Akthar, Pakistan, and I have done computer science from Akthar IB University. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your sound is a little bit like weird if you try to fix it, so when you talk, everybody can hear you correctly. Okay? Rajan Thakur? Rajan?
Yes, ma'am.
Can
Hello,
you
ma'am.
tell us your full name? Where are you from?
My name is Rajan Thakur and I'm from Nepal.
Okay, now we have Mexico, Nepal. Thank you very much. I'll try to pronounce your name. Sarbandia Mense? I think we can't hear you. You have your mic open, but I can't hear you. Okay, try to fix your mic, please. Sultan Akbar, salam alaikum. I see your mic on, but I can't hear you. Yeah, something is wrong with your mic. Yeah, you
Sarbatnia.
sound low.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sarbatnia,
Hello.
you are okay. Perfect.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah. We can hear you. Can you just like introduce yourself, please?
Yes, so I'm Sarvani Mense and I'm from India. I'm currently pursuing CS engineering.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Welcome. Good, good, perfect. Okay, so I'm not sure. I have one more participant, but you have your name in Arabic, so I can't read it. If you can just open your mic and tell us your name.
Yes, hi, my name is Lulu Said and I'm from Kuwait.
Welcome, welcome. Good. So I think everybody, if there is someone else who wants to open the mic and tell your name. The ones we mentioned and didn't talk, you could just raise your hand and I will check and open the mic.
I think that the new one that has arrived is Hamed Al-Mahdi. So if you can just open your mic and introduce yourself, my dear, just your name and your country will be amazing.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Can you give us your name and your country, please?
Okay, my name is Hamad Al-Mahdi and I am from Qatar.
Welcome to this YCC table. I don't know if someone else is missing. I think that we can continue.
Now, can we start? Good. So as we are, well, let's continue with the presentation. I will let you know in a moment. What are we going to do? Okay. So we're going to make you one question. I want you to take like a couple of minutes to think about the answer. And then I am going to check in the list and tell your name so you can open your mic and give your opinion. Okay? So for the ones that are just entering the room, we are going to ask a question and you are going to take like 2 or 3 minutes to think about the answer. Once these 3 minutes have passed, I will give you the floor, say your name and give you the floor so you can give your opinion about this. Please try to think about the pros and the cons of the situation, of if there is any situation raised from this question that would concern you, and try to give your opinion based on this, okay? So, Bella, can we put the full question? Thank you. So it says, should economic development always prioritize environmental concerns, or are there situations where economic growth should take precedence over ecological preservation? We had a lot of information in the conference about this. So you have 3 minutes to read it carefully and try to think about the answer. Thank you.
For the ones that has arrived now in the meeting, just please read the question that is on the screen, and you have 2 minutes, just like to make a small statement about what is your thoughts about this question and proposals. So just we will start in a few minutes.
Okay, so please, we're going to do a different thing. I need you to just raise your hand if you want to give your opinion about this question. So I will choose the first hands that are like raised. We'll try to participate, all of us, but I want you to tell me who wants to start. Don't be shy. We are like few colleagues here in the room, and the idea is that you can talk about this. We need to hear what you have to say about this topic. Thank you very much. Raise your hand if you want to participate. If you're having any issue with the applications of Teams, just let us know. Open your mic and let us know what's going on. We need to talk. Don't be shy.
I think that the guys needs like a little more improvement about that. So maybe you need to select one of them.
Yeah.
Maybe we can start with someone from India. I don't know. Why not?
Someone from India.
Sabatnia, are you there?
Yes, I am there.
Can you start, my dear?
Okay, so for this topic, my opinion is economic development should not be always the prioritize over environmental protection. While economic growth is vital and it is important and it is crucial for our living standards, particularly in developing countries, and essentially for the growth of incorporate sustainability and practical that we have to protect our environment. So for that purpose, we should not prioritize the economic development for the environmental development. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, dear. Okay, Carla from Mexico, would you like to give your opinion?
Yes, well, I believe that economic development and environmental concerns are interconnected and that it's necessary to have a balance between both. And well, some pros of prioritizing environmental concerns could be health benefits as well as climate change benefits, but it also has cons since it's kind of expensive and it has high costs. And economic growth, well, it will help with poverty alleviation and with some needs, but as well, some cons could be environmental degradation, and it will also be will make an impact, a negative impact on health and climate change. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carla. I have a hand raised. Can you open your mic, please, and talk? I don't have your name. Really sorry. I don't know.
I think that their name is Lu, right? Or
Yes, my name is Lulu.
Lulu, yeah, correct.
Lulu.
You can start.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I came up with the pros and cons, and I also came up with a proposal. So for the pros, it's about it slows down the climate change, and for the cons, it costs actually a lot to buy those you know, to do all like to do, you know, understand me?
Don't worry, take your time.
It's pretty clear. You can continue.
Okay, yeah. So it just costs a lot, and for the proposal, it's to actually support the jobs that are working in economic environments, and also invest in green technology. So yeah, that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you very much. What about Maria? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, but I don't know what the question is, and I don't know what is the topic because I joined the team at a late time, so I don't know.
Okay, don't worry. Can we put the question, please? Well, this is the question. Should economic development always prioritize environmental concerns, or are there situations where economic growth should take precedence over ecological preservation? If you want, take some time, and I will come back to you later so you can have time to think about the answer, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Thanks. So what about Mohammed Hatem? Are you there? Can you open your mic and tell us your proposal? No? Okay, now I will ask the moderators that are joining us in this meeting. Victoria, do you have anyone from your session that you would like to call? Or Alan?
To call Mohammed Hatem. I don't know if he can talk.
I think something is wrong with his mic.
Oh, I only have two in my
Okay, don't worry.
meeting.
What about to asking Rajan Thakur? Can you join us and open your mic and let us know your thoughts?
Okay,
Representing
I'm
Nepal.
from Nepal. I'm from Nepal, and my opinion towards should economic development always prioritize environment concern is its answer actually depends country wise. Just like maybe some country are underdeveloped and some are in the list of development or developed country. For the developed country, economic development, it's okay, they have done enough, but their environment concern are very, they are, they should be environmental concerned. But in poor or those countries who are underdeveloped or economically challenged, they cannot sustain their both economically development and environment concern. So these answer according to green economy, uh, we should prioritize the answer toward country condition and their ecological environments, ma'am.
Thank you very much for your answer.
Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, thank you, Ryan. What about Sadel Suf? Can you open your mic and give us your opinion? Okay. Mohammed Alamsib, he's raising their hand. Please open your mic.
I believe we should prioritize environmental concerns. Otherwise, we will face climate changes, public health issues, for instance, like we start deforestation for
My dear,
short-term.
sorry to interrupt you. There is like you have two devices together or something like that, because there is a mic, like an echo, and also it's not clear. Can you just put the micro like very close to your mouth in order that we can understand perfectly, because it's really complicated to understand you.
Actually, I have a mic issue. Am I audible now? Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Can
Just
you
try
talk?
to be close to your mic and talk louder so we can hear you.
Actually, I have a flu, that's why maybe. Actually, I wanted to say we should prioritize the climate, prioritize environmental concerns. Otherwise, we will face climate change, public health issues. Like if we go to deforestation, then we will have for the short-term economic gain. Otherwise, after a long time, we will see very issues like water shortages, economic system collapses.
So just to confirm, what you are saying, that is related on deforestation and the climate change, that is a change, like that is a challenge, and it's like affecting also the green economy, right? Somebody raise a hand. You can open your mic, my dear.
Maria Kasem. Open your
Yes,
mic,
I'm
please.
here. Okay. I think like we should have a balance. I think the balance is the key. Like highlighted that a sustainable development requires a balance between economic growth and environmental, and we should like public awareness. A vector for education the public about the value of both economic growth and environmental, to let people know about awareness of them, like, and this is my opinion about this decision.
Thank you very much. Let's remember, if you want to participate, just raise your hand. I will just go through the list and try to give you the floor. What about Sultan Maulana Akbar? Are you there? Can you give your opinion?
Hello, hello. Hello?
Good.
Can you hear?
We listen.
Oh,
Yes.
all right. So, yeah, in my opinion, based on the question, should economic development always prioritize environmental concerns, or are there like situations where economic growth should take precedence over ecological preservation? Now the answer, academic development ideally should prioritize environmental concerns, but in certain situations where like there is what do you say immediate economic growth is crucial, like for improving like the living standards. it it may take pre- precedence over ecological preservation. So the key is to find a balanced approach that considers both economic needs and environmental protection, like so it balanced like 50-50.
Thank you very much for your participation. Okay, what about Sarbandia Mense? Are you there?
You already speak.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
No problem. Maybe the Anwar Al-Rashidi, sorry. I don't know if you can open your mic, my dear.
I think that we have a hand raised. Oh, no.
Yeah, Sarbandia Mense. Open your mic, dear. And Raf, open your mic, please. Rahaf.
Hello.
Hello.
I believe that economic development should always give priority to environmental issues, because the environment will affect the population either negatively or positively.
Good. Thank you very much, dear. Josefa, would you like to give your opinion? Sorry, Sarvania, you raised your hand again. Open your mic, dear.
My name is Zaifa from Egypt. I volunteer from Brazil as an environment.
We can hear you. You have an echo. Can you check if you are in another device? Can you? Because we can't hear you. It's a lot of noise there.
Hello, my name is Zaifa from Egypt. The priority from Brazil, the environment, the economic growth.
It's an echo, like if you have two devices. If you have it on your cell phone and on the computer, just turn it off in one device. It's a lot of echo there. Close your mic and open it again, please.
Environment safety always affect the community.
I'm sorry, my dear. I should mute it because it's really a problem about the sound. As soon as you choose the device you will use it, the tablet or the phone, we can continue with you. But just one.
Also, for the others who are having problems with the sound, you can also write on the chat, and we can help you to read your answer. Just please write it in English so we can help you to get to all the participants. Thank you. Alan, do you have someone else on mind?
Everybody from my table already spoke, so
okay. So let's check someone else who wants to talk. Don't be shy. It's for you. This is for you, and the idea is that you can share ideas with others, because later on you have to give your final proposals according to all what you heard from your colleagues and the participants, okay?
I'm not sure if Sadil Suf has already talked, but if he or she has already talked or not, just can you open your mic, my dear, and share with us your thoughts?
Sadel, yeah, she participated.
Ah, okay. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no worries, okay.
Maybe we can turn to
I'm
the
not
next
sure
question.
if, yeah, I think we can get to the next question. Well, now you will have the second question to think about, okay? So let's go to the next question. Okay, it says, how can youth advocate for more holistic approaches that consider both economic and ecological factors in decision-making processes? So you have 5 minutes to read the question by your own and to think about the answer. And as soon as you want to participate, please raise your hand.
Just as a comment, because for me, as a personal point, I didn't like get it the holistic, but just maybe if someone also has the same question as me, because I said what holistic, but yeah, in general, what the question is related on, we need to take all the problematic in a complete, like everything is a part of the problem. So what is the advocate or the approachment that that all of you as a youth will consider for the making decision-making processes related on economic, but also on ecological factors.
Yeah, holistic is related to natural, something more what the speaker was talking about, something like getting more to the roots, to be more natural, more without a lot of processed set things. That's what holistic means. More like natural, that's it. Alan, please open your mic. We can't
I was just kidding.
So he's moderator of another table and he wants to participate, but you can give your opinion if you want. So the rest are motivated with your experience and opinion about green economy.
I guess that I can do it whenever you guys decide that it's time to move into the opinions.
I think 1 minute is left, so they can start like, you will be the first, so be ready. Okay, I think we are ready. We're going to hear what Alan has to say about this topic. And then please just raise your hand, or I choose or pick someone from the list. If you are having problems with your mic, just write. We have a chat. Just write your answer in English, and I can help you to read it to all of the participants in the room, okay? So please, Alan, we want to hear you.
All right, can you all hear me now?
Pretty well.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, awesome. I would say that Joe can actually play like a really important role into advocating into the decision-making process, especially when it comes to economic and ecological factors. Why? Because we have many, many, many ways to approach this. One of them, I would say, that is the most, or the one that I would bet for, would be education. And then from education, we can go from things like activism or collaboration with different organizations, institutions, and people who's looking for the same goals. And regarding education, I would say that the first thing that we would have to do is educate ourselves. And then once that we are educated, we can go and educate someone else and then go from there. Because at the very end, there are many factors that actually matter into decision making, but when we're looking into ecological and economical, education is one of the first things that we should do, and we should look and promote these spaces when we can get this information, where we could put this information into people who's not used to get these terms, or who doesn't really know what green economy means, or what many of these terms would actually um, imply. So, um, I mean, it's gonna be like a little bit repetitive, but education, collaboration are the main strategies that I would say are essential in order to get just one solution. If that helps somehow to get you to your opinions.
Thanks, Alan. Now we want to hear your opinions, guys. So please, you have like 1 minute to raise your hand. If not, I will like choose someone from the list. But please help us to make this like more enjoyable for everybody, please. Okay, let's see. We have someone here. Good. So we have Sarvendiamen's opinion. She says, like youth can advocate for more holistic approaches considering economic and ecological factors through several avenues, like we can gain info about it and take direct action and awareness. From that, we can take protest and community organization and social media campaign. Yeah, I agree on that. I think it's as Alan says, first you educate yourself, and then when you know, you learn, you can just share with others. And making social media campaigns, in my opinion, it's a good place to start. Telling people what should be done or communicating, because sometimes people don't understand what is even green economy, no? So we need to inform. Good, thank you very much. And then we have someone else in the, Josefa, can you open your mic, please? Josefa, please open your mic.
By using use plan for data and make models too. Artificial plans.
Dear, can you please write your answer, please? Because there is something wrong with your mic, and we hear like a lot of echo and echo and echo. So please just write, and I can read your answer there in the chat, please. Maria, can you please open your mic and give your opinion?
Yes, I'm here. Okay. I think like youth can play a crucial role in advocating for holistic approaches that integrate both economic and ecological factors in decision making. like education and raise awareness, or learning and share knowledge, understand the connection between economic and ecological system, such as a benefit of sustainable, practical, and share knowledge through workshops, social media, and community events, and actually engage in policy decision. Like I think the youth can play that role in, advocating for healthy approaches. This is my opinion.
Good. Thank you very much. I think we're starting like to agree that like social media is an important place to talk about this. So Sultan, can you please open your
hello.
mic? Hello.
Okay.
We hear you.
Based on the question, like how can youth advocate for more holistic approaches that, consider both economic, that like both embrace economic and ecological factors in decision-making processes. First of all, the most important part, like Mr. Alan said, is education. Like we have to educate like ourselves about the green economy, and then one of the things that is most important is like social media. Like most of youth get their information from social media, like Instagram, TikTok, and other platform or social medias. For how to raise awareness about those two topics, like how, we how do you say, like campaigns, social media campaigns, like so we can like influence the youth to make more holistic approaches that are embrace both problems, so they can make like decision making processes.
Yeah, totally agree. Thank you very much, dear. If any of the moderators want to speak and say any comment, please just open your mic. Carla, can you please open your mic and tell us your opinion?
Yes, so I agree with what everyone has said because youth has an important role for a more sustainable future. We can speak for solutions involving both economic and ecological factors. The first thing to do will be to get aware of the topic and to know what it is. And after, we can share ideas and work together. And this could be with a really known tool nowadays, which is social media. And this to spread knowledge and awareness of it and to get to collaborate with people around the world and ideas from other persons. And this could be with social media. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carla. Someone else who wants to give the opinion or anything else? I don't know. Yeah, Mohammed Hatem, can you open your mic? We can hear you. Please open your mic. Mohammed? I think he went out of the meeting. I'm not sure if this round, Sadel, did you already give your opinion, right? Rajan? Rajan Thakur?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, if you want to give your opinion about this question.
Actually, I'm having
university exam and I just opened the question. But my opinion about economic and ecological factor in decision making process should be more reliable. Uh, we should uh, we should watch them like a coin which have two parts. Each coin has a two parts, but this answer is going through that one side should be economical and another side be ecological. So we should make sustainable development through only a good economic condition toward leading it ecological, more approachable and more conservable types. That's all, ma'am. Hello.
Thank you very much.
Did you get my
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much for your
Thank you,
answer
ma'am.
and have a nice exam. Yeah, good, thanks. We have another opinion in the chat.
Your mic is off, Liz.
Yeah, you went off.
Sorry. So we have another opinion about Sarpania Mens. She says, we can also take help of art and expressions, for example, by using art, music, and other creative mediums to communicate their message and raise awareness. Yeah, totally agree about that. I have seen a lot of people in other countries, like Chile, for example, trying to talk about ecology and that with a lot of art. It's like impressive what they do with art. Good, thank you very much, dear. We have another opinion in the chat room. Mohammed Hatem, my opinion, using platform for data visualization and make models to achieve balanced decision making, collaborate with stakeholders. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Someone else in the room, or we go to the final proposals? Okay, it's Lulu, yeah? Tell me if I'm right or not.
Yes, you're right. So my
Good,
opinion
thanks.
is to organize like workshops and seminars, because many people tend to go to these places, and also is to go to university and schools, because that's where people are actually interested in those kind of topics. And thank you.
Yeah, totally agree. Thank you very much, dear.
Just
okay,
one.
let me
I would
check
like to do a question to all our participants, Liz, if you allow me. It's just like everybody knows and everybody talks about making consciousness to do educational situation and so on. But being honest, which one of us will leave some kind of not responsible like procedures or matters that we normally do, such as, for example, the waste that we normally have as a person, for example, how many electronics do we consume per year, how many waste we produce every day. So talkingly as a youth, which one of you wants to express how can you think that you can do a less impact and make a little bit green economy? For example, when you go to the school, maybe instead of buying things with the plastic, maybe just bringing your food from your house in an ecological way. I don't know, these kind of things. Which one do you want to express a little bit? It's just not a matter to think about education, but what kind of education we will give to others related on that.
Shall I speak something on that
For sure.
question?
For sure.
As you talk about the plastic uses in environments, these are aggravating factor toward our cancer leading causes. Most of the cancers about skin cancer leading causes are the daily uses of plastics and recently in our body we are finding microplastic in a minute way in our body presence that are now in our body uh, they are damaging our cells and producing cancers um, like lungs, something like a small cell carcinoma, asbestosis, something like that. Is that all there?
Completely agree. The point is, what do you consider that how can we modify a little bit that? For sure, it's like a very complex
We can
situation.
use them as a greenery products, as a bags which can be disposable, and we should also use as a product which are reusable and which can be dissolved in a environment easily and cultivatable way.
Okay, there is like a one point. Lulu has your hands raised. Sorry, can you just give us your thoughts?
Yeah.
What do you?
Okay, I'm not really sure about the question, but I think we all know that there's a new invention where people instead of sipping from plastic straws, they came up with this pasta straw. Maybe some of you guys have heard of it. So it's like a way of maybe instead of using plastic, it's a solution. It's considered as a solution.
These straws are 100% out of plastic?
Yes, they're even edible. Like after you finish your drink, you can eat them.
Okay, good. That is like one amazing news. Thank you, Lulu. Somebody else that wants to join us to this discussion of how to put in hands-on work about this point, because for sure education is amazing and we should educate and use social medias, but we need really things in order to put the hands on. So already we hear Lulu, we hear also Rajan. Who else? Carla, can you open your mic, my dear?
Yes. Well, I agree with the others, and I believe that by making small actions, we can make like a bigger impact, and by just like changing little habits we have that can make a negative impact on the environment, like by changing them, we can make a bigger difference. I don't know if you can understand that, but like, for example, I have been trying to change certain habits to reduce this negative impact in the environment. Like, for example, when I shower or wash my teeth, I try to use less water. And when I don't know, at my house and I don't really need the light, I try to turn it off. And I don't know, by making small actions, we can make a bigger impact.
Here, I can add more. The topic is about chemical wastage. I relate to the question because you told me about the plastic wastage, which
the plastic
affect
waste is
in
just
our
like
daily
an
lives.
idea. sorry to interrupt, Rajan. It's an idea. It's just like an example, but I'm talking about in general. So, but yeah, if you want to add something to your answer, go ahead.
Yes, I can add more. We can use as a we should avoid plastic uses. Instead of that, we should use something like that are not made from plastic wastage, and that should be natural made. Just like in my country, Nepal, people are now trying to avoid the plastic made of bottle which we use to drink water. But now we are changing them with a bamboo. Have you any idea about bamboo? Ma'am, do you have any idea about bamboo trees?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yes. Then the here team here our team our in Nepal country, some of the products are biodegradable, which can be later changes into bio wastage and not delay more on wasting times. That not going to harm our fields.
Sure, correct. I think that somebody else wants to talk. Just El Gravi, raise the hand. If you want to open your mic, my dear, and express your ideas. Elm Gravi. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. We hear you now.
Research, breathing, examples of countries, cities, and have successfully success.
Okay, my dear, we didn't understand completely, but okay, thanks for participating. I don't know if somebody else wants to add something. If not, to come back to Liz. Sorry, because I get this question differently, but it's just like to think about a little bit more. It's not only like to follow what is mentioned, but also like to think deeply, because in the next session or the next step on this YCC, all of you will need to provide some ideas or some proposals to about this topic. So if somebody else wants to talk, if not, it's come back to Liz. Just as the last, I will just like say someone. I will mention someone of you, and I want to hear you. What about Mohammed Hatem? Do you have any comment related on that?
I think you have problems with his mic.
Okay, so let's move then. Sultan, is there? Yeah, Sultan Maulana. Do you want something to add to this question that is like, how can we really put hands-on work related on this topic? Because, for example, your colleague says about plastic using biodegradable materials. However, also there is like a cons related on economics, because at the end, these biodegradable materials are not so cheap materials. So maybe we are helping our environment, but related on economics, we are getting a very bad troubles related on that. So I think that somebody makes something in the chat. Just let me read it. Oh, there's a lot. Okay. Okay, so Sarvania Mense says something, but I'm not sure if it is the time. Yeah, for sure. This Samana said, I agree with Rajan. Small actions have a big impact. In India, refusing single-use plastic, properly segregating waste, and supporting businesses committed to reducing plastic are crucial. Promoting bamboo as a sustainable alternative in construction, furniture, and textiles, supporting bamboo artisans, and advocating for supportive government policies offer a powerful double benefit, reducing reliance on resource-intense materials while boosting local economies. Correct. Good. Thank you so much, Sarvadnia, to support us with these comments. Someone else, let me see. I have a mice or maze. I don't know what is the correct pronunciation of your name, my dear, but if you can open your mic and talk a little bit, because I haven't heard your voice. Okay. No one? Okay, so it's just like a matter of like start thinking more. Not only what is mentioned, but also thinking in every single specific situation in our countries, in our own villages, cities, states, that many times we have different situations. So for example, now that we know what is happening in India, what is happening in Nepal, maybe we want to know what is happening in Qatar. Somebody from Qatar were here. I don't know if it's continuing here. Or somebody from Kuwait that wants to raise the point about what is really happening there, just like to understand a little bit more, and to go to the next stage, that is just like creating proposals. Okay, I will go. Okay, Mohammed Hatem, that amazing. So thank you so much for participating. Mohammed says, highlight case studies for examples of countries and businesses that have successfully implemented holistic policies. Use data to show how ecological considerations can lead to long-term economic saving. Okay, it's good. I want to go deeply with you because I need like more examples. Maybe in the next stage, you can go deeply to that point. Alan, instead of like writing, can open your mic and say what you greeted.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I'm just gonna read what I just said. Embracing the problem as we face it every day help us to understand different points of view and then creating really strong proposals. And I would like to point that out as we are moving forward, because that's gonna help us to create. We're gonna see like how situations happening in India, in Qatar, in Kuwait, in Mexico, can find like a similar path in order to take care of that situation. So that's why it's really important that we see the problem as we live with it pretty much every day or every day, and then doing pretty simple questions. And these are questions that we all know. So questions like what, when, how, who, where are going to help us to see like the situation, and then help us to build like a structure where we can one, settle down the problem, and then two, move forward on identifying every specific point that we need in order to do the identification of the problem, and then building the proposals. That was pretty much it. Does anybody have any questions so far?
Okay, I think that we can continue to the next stage if you agree, the moderators and all of you. So we have discussed the 2 questions, and we will go to the action planning. So you will have 10 minutes in order to what you have discussed, what you have heard about the conferences that you have been participating, in order to have a practical actions to address or reduce the concern raised. You need to focus on ideas that are realistic and can make a meaningful impact. And as Alan says in this moment, small actions, but all together have a meaningful impact. So the idea is just like all of you can write the actions that you can consider first that you can achieve, and for sure that would be beneficial if they go to a large scale. So we will give you 10 minutes in silence. All of you just write your comments and your proposals, and we will come back with all of you with your proposals, your actions. Hello, hello. Are you ready? I want to see a lot of hands raised. So please, I need to see your hands for all the ones that already have some proposals, some actions. Or if you need more time, just write it or telling me, there is no issue. Okay, we have received 2 answers, like written answers. So Sarvania, do you have any issue with your microphone, or do you want really to read your answer, my dear? It will be more meaningful for every one of us to hear your voice, like reading and being explaining these kind of things. Sarvania, are you there?
She had problems with her
Okay,
mic.
yeah, I already reviewed. Thank you so much, Victoria. Okay,
So I can help you
for
reading
sure.
some.
Victoria, can you read the Sarvania message, please?
It says, so for the realistic and meaningful ideas for unleashing a beautiful revolution are, let's just imagine a citywide waste to wonder competition transforming trash into art and functional product, boosting creativity and creating a stunning visual impact. Second, to establish green banks, community-owned enterprise to invest in sustainable projects and create local green jobs. Third, to launch eco-mentorships, pairing seasoned environmentalists with young innovators to spark weird solution. Finally, let's lobby for a sustainable city certification, rewarding cities to champion ecological progress with increased investment and tourism. This isn't just about fixing problems, it's about creating a stunning, sustainable future. It's a great idea. Thinking about cities, about I think a big change, a big progress.
Thank you so much, Victoria.
Says, my opinion is to make community education programs, raise awareness about the importance of sustainable development, organize workshop and public discussion led by local youth leaders and activists, increase community understanding of how small lifestyle changes and local policies can align economic growth with ecological health. Thank you, Mohammed, for your opinion too.
Amazing. Just like going a little forward about both questions, mostly, sorry, both answers mostly on Mohammed Hatem ones. I just wanted to go a little bit forward. You said creating this kind of information of how a small lifestyle changes. Can you just describe this a small lifestyle? What do you mean about a small lifestyle? Are you referring to more modest, to be more yeah, the point is understand a little bit more about these small lifestyle changes. Alan, can you read what is written in the last one, please?
Yes. So Josifa says, is it possible for me to write the answer in the chat because I will not be able to speak English? Yes, for sure. Go for it. And as soon as you send it, we're gonna read it for you.
Thank you so much, Alan. Let's move to someone else because all the people are like so silent. Lulu, can you just give us your ideas, my dear? Someone is like raising the hand, so I think that we can start with Sultan and then come back with Lulu. Lulu, please be prepared. So Sultan, can you open your mic and give us your thoughts and your proposals?
Yes, hello. Hello.
Sure, we hear you.
All right then. Okay, so my ideas, there's like lot of them, but I picked three. So the first one is community-based plastic deposit system. So you like consider I'm sorry, set up local kiosk or vending machines where people can like deposit their like trash, like bottles. So when they I mean deposit their bottles, they get like a coupon or like small rewards or maybe like transportation discounts. Alright, the second one is the plastic upcycling hubs. So we create like a neighborhood workshop, like uh, equip like tools to like upcycle waste into usable items like furniture, tiles, accessories. But these hubs can also be like educational centers. Okay, so the last one is like smart biodegradable packaging for delivery services. So we collaborate with e-commerce and food delivery platforms to use packaging embedded with seeds. So when you throw away the waste, you can like grow plants. Okay, thank you. That is my opinion.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sultan, for your contributions. Okay. So let's move. Lulu, are you prepared? If not, we are moving to someone else. Let's see, Carla. Are you ready?
Yes.
Go ahead, my dear.
So based on what we've been discussing, I came up with some actions and I'm gonna like read it for you. So first, create local campaigns to collect recyclable materials, create local groups for collecting waste at streets, to promote renewable energy and find cheaper options so that way people can implement them, to ban the single-use plastics and find alternatives instead, to organize social meetings or events about sustainable consumption and eco-friendly lifestyles, to use social media to raise awareness, to reduce carbon footprints with actions like reducing water and reducing the energy consumption, and try to give a second chance to what seems useless by recycling and upcycling. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carla. So let's move to Sadil Suf. No, there is no possibility. Okay, let's move to what about Maria? Are you ready, Maria? I think that Maria is not ready. Okay, Rahab wants to speak, so go ahead, please.
Yes. I think that we can help the environment by using projects that protect the environment from dangers such as pollution.
Okay, you can continue. Your mic is off.
I guess that a good questions to go deeper on that is how would you do that? Who would be the people who would get the most benefits from that? Would you need like some help from some organization, maybe government? Um, what would be the main strategies to get the people to do so? And if you were speaking, your mic is off.
Yeah, I think that something happened with the microphone with Rahab because it's not still with the hands raised and like not open the microphone. So, well, we will move to the section of the chat. If we agree, Alan, can you just give us your amazing voice on
Yeah, of
behalf
course.
of someone else?
All right, so it says from Elm Gravy, it is my opinion that we raise awareness of climate changes by providing green education in schools to educate and encourage students to be creative and innovative to bring about change in the green economy. This will erase digital illiteracy and will also encourage continued creativity and innovation and will also make green economy. Also, like on this point, I would like to go deeper and ask, how would you do so? Like, is there any strategy that you have in mind that would actually help us to provide green education in schools? Or what would be like the main benefits besides the ones that you already um, show us in the text? And then that would be awesome if you can answer, even though if you just do it in the chat again. And then moving forward with Mohammed, um, the text says, another opinion, using technology for advocacy by using digital tools to educate and mobilize action. Develop an app or website tracking local sustainability effort and their economic benefits, using IA and simulations to model the long-term impacts of policies that ignore ecological factors. Yeah, that sounds really good. That's really interesting, and especially at this time of life, like we are living such a technological jump between eras. I would say that the technology that we have today, it's going to be pretty old for next year. So using all these sources that we already have and looking to mix technology in order to solve this situation, it's really important, but also keeping an eye on how we use these sources in a matter when it is when we don't lose responsibility for the sources, for natural sources especially that we use. So I really like this approach, but also if somebody would like to go deeper on these thoughts or share their own, would be really nice to hear or to read.
I think that we are just missing two people. That is Lulu. Hopefully, Lulu, now you can be no shy anymore and share your comments, your knowledge, and your proposals. And for sure, we are missing also Sadil Suf. I think so. And that's it. So, well, there are another two participants, but their names are in Arabic, my dear. So if you want to open your mic a little bit, introduce yourself and giving your thoughts would be really amazing. Okay, Josefa mentioned that one proposal is to encourage financial institutions to support sustainability. Okay. And in a daily basis, so how can we as a normal person that it is not having this powerful political position or governmental position, how can we support that, the green economy? Well, I think that nobody else is willing to share their thoughts, or we are like reaching almost all of you. But I think that we do really a good investment of time. A lot of information have shared, a lot of good comments coming from all of you. And the idea of that, of this activity is that is like that you can feel in a very good environment with people around the world with differences about traditions, cultures, but at the end, the similarities about issues and with a common point of view related on have something beneficial for everybody of us as a human beings that we are. So thank you so much to all of you to have you here. Okay, I received another message that is, sorry, the internet is weak, I couldn't complete. Okay, Rahab, if you want to write the completion of your answer would be amazing. We can read it just like before closing. Or if you want to open your mic, it's up to you, don't worry. But just as a part of the ending point, just we want to invite all of you. After we close this session, you will receive an email with instructions to go forward to a form. This survey, it's really, really important that all of you can write all your messages, all your thoughts, and all your proposals, because based on that, you will receive two things. The first one is you will receive your certificate of participation. That is really important. Is from MILSET, and that is like an international movement for leisure activities in science and technology, and it's like an internationally certificate. And the second one is related on this information. We will do like a big report that will be shared with different leaders around the world. And the idea is that your voice could be part of this report. So thank you so much, all of you, for being here. Has been a pleasure to hear all of you. And hopefully we will see you soon. We have a lot of different activities coming in the next year. We have the Expo-Sciences International 2025 that will be in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. And for sure, all of you can know a little bit more about that in the website that is written below. Well, in the comments. So you can find anything related on that, and will be amazing to have some of you or all of you in this event that we will continue talking about many other activities, many other scientific and technological topics, process, a lot of fun, a lot of culture. So we will keep in touch. Thank you so much. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Alan. And thank you, Liz, for preparing all this amazing activity. I hope that all of you have been enjoying as all of us has been doing that. Thank you so much. Have a nice day and see you soon.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Goodbye.